Alright, I'm here. Let's see how long this thing takes me to say I'm live. Let's see if it sends anything out to anybody. Um, Still don't say I'm live on my computer. Really great. What the heck? Hey, Sweetums. I sent you the notification. I'm trying to, get it on my computer. What the heck is still not showing it? You said, no, don't stop it. You got this, yeah. I'm trying. I know I feel bad because, a couple of people left messages, and I'm like, it's not what anybody that comes on supporting the channel does or doesn't do. It's just that there's not enough of people. That's all. I was so bummed thinking about you. Oh, yeah. I wanted to come back because I didn't want anyone to feel bad. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I said, if this changes. If my mind changes on this, of course, I will still do them. But I don't know if it's just because I've been, my health has been just so, like, not able to move at all. Even today, I was able to move, like, a little bit. But when I, like, walk back and forth to the bathroom, it's like when I get back in my room, it's like I'm dry heaving. Like, my body's just so drained, I guess. But did you see your I know. That's how it always gets for some reason. I mean, I wasn't even on for 3 or 4 hours. I was only on for 2 hours. It does that to me. YouTube will do that to me where I'm like, oh, fuck it, YouTube. And then it's like, oh, let me give you a little something. Like a true relationship. um, I'll support you in whatever you choose to do. Thank you. Like I said, if it's not this, is still going to be the occasional snack video and stuff. But like I said, I'm just frustrated with my health and everything I got to deal with on a daily basis because things would be so different if I could just have a little bit of relief. And it's like I'm just asking for a little bit. I know that a lot of things won't go away or whatever, but gosh, apparently the algorithm likes it when the title is "Tell Me Your Secrets." Yeah, but nobody told any secret. I guess people were trying to listen in and see if somebody was saying anything, but nobody said a secret. I just don't want you to feel discouraged if talking at night helps. I'm here. Yeah, it does help. Um, like I said, it was just like I was just getting too many. At the beginning, not anybody coming in, and then like I said, the trolls see that and they set up their lovely time to come in and bother me. So, um, I'll see day by day now how I feel. Like I said, right now it's just draining, just trying to get over if this is a flare up or whatever that's happening. But like my back does feel a little tiny better. I'm not trying to push myself to do like too much, but I just don't understand. I don't understand the dry heaving and everything. So I don't know. Troll stick, and I was looking at the accounts too because I stopped just blocking them. And accounts are like 15 years old. So, so there's people that had accounts for a long time, and I guess they just troll for that long, or maybe they just suddenly become miserable and decide to do it. But I was thinking, like, probably this person. It's just crazy how people have, so much time to go bother somebody else. I keep praying that you'll get some relief you need. Thank you. What? I'll never understand the psychology of someone like that. I'm glad we don't understand it, you know. I wouldn't ever want to be in that headspace where you have to feel that you have to push it outward to try to annoy or hurt somebody. For me, it's just annoying. It's not a hurt thing. So let's see. How long has had a channel? See, only had a channel for 1 month, so we know that we could just. It's the long term people that I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Why they would choose to be nasty to random people for no reason? How starved for attention do they have to be? And that's really it too. It's like they said people that have more than you aren't going to try to like do those things. So it's obviously people that are hurting less or just an asshole in general, but their lives aren't better than yours for sure. I know. I don't even want to say hi anymore when they don't even make sense. Yeah, I won't either. I just knew that. That's why I deleted it or whatever. It's hard to say hi when they say hi because it's like, is it just going to be a troll statement next or somebody really, stopping in to say hi? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's a whole line of assholes. Some people that need huge hugs all the time. I don't know, but like I said, I'm glad I've never had that mentality. Never did I feel like, even in school or whatever, because I could have, being how tall I am and stuff, I could have punked a lot of people. And I never in my life, did that. If anything, I was way too soft because people were intimidated by my size. So I was just way too soft, so they wouldn't be. I asked ChatGPT for trending topics to discuss for a mental health channel if you like them. It's like, can we discuss them? Is it gonna say, the words that YouTube doesn't like? Um, we can. Maybe hopefully a few other people will hop in here. I know that Jessie Lynn is sick again. Her family's sick again with the flu. I think this is like the third time round. Hopefully they get uh better. So yeah, let's see who hops in today. Then we see what the questions are about. Yeah, no, that's so scary. Especially with a baby in the house, you don't want them to get sick. So that's gonna be a new thing. He got sick, but not with the flu or anything. And then giving me whatever he gave me. Maybe this time I'll be like, oh, you're not gonna be around. If he does get sick next time, I'll be like, no, grandma, no, grandma, this time. No, I couldn't do that to him. Okay, you do that. I didn't see my intro. Hi, everybody. I made it. Alright, sweetums. Hi, everybody that comes in. Hi to all the silent viewers. I hope one day you'll feel comfortable enough to chat, if this lasts. But, thank you for your support. Thank everybody for their support. And if you are in the replay crew and you watch it back, please hit the like button so I know that, just a little bit of engagement helps. And I know that you're enjoying the content. There's also the post. If you go on my page and you go to my post, you could post like pictures of your pet or maybe a makeup look or certain things you want to put on there and share. You could choose whether I think you could just share it with me personally, or you do share it to certain people, or just YouTube in general. I think you're in control of who sees it. So if you guys wanted to head over there and put something up. Also, if you want me to see it right away, at mention me, which is just putting the at mental makeup in whatever you put, so that I could see it right away. If not, for some reason, I don't see it unless somebody comments, and then there's that at mention automatically. But the first initial one, YouTube needs to fix that, but it doesn't send me alerts, so I check it once in a while. But if the alert's there, I'll check it once I see the alert. So that will be a fun thing to do. Um, yeah, and that's just it. We wait to see if anybody else joins this, and see if we make this into a thing tonight. And if anybody has any like content ideas or anything, I'm always open to that. Cause this is hard every day doing this, just trying to figure out what to talk about. And we still are down to do another book for next month. Since this month's book sucked, I just want to try to find one that's sort of an easier read and that could be easier to discuss with the people that don't decide to read the book too. So there's that. Um, it's windy as heck here, so I'm hoping this stream stays. But a lot of people that have been live streaming in different areas and stuff, I know they've been having a lot of trouble staying on. So it's gonna be windy today and tomorrow. I think they said the highest one today was like 79. So it's been pretty windy. So hopefully the connection stays. It's the bomb cyclone where it's cold and windy. A lot of time when we get the bomb cyclone, it's cold, windy, and snowy. But this time, good thing it's only light snow, and but it's extreme wind and um extreme wind and cold. And what is the so the temperature now? I think is like 7 degrees. Okay, so yeah, it's not. It was really windy earlier, and then I think they said tomorrow too. So um, as long as nothing breaks, it will be fine. About to go see what these are. Yeah, 7 degrees. Um, Alright, hold on a second while I read this for. We'll skim through it. Oh yeah, these aren't bad. We'll see how like you said YouTube does with it, but they're not bad. What are you talking about, the topics I'm interested in? I don't know what, like, on the research end, I don't know. I guess I could, like, talk about haunted things, like, specifically look up the stuff and, like, haunted places and everything. But I don't know what else besides, like, ghosts and stuff, what I, do research on. Oh, boy. And I bet you dropped it right into your mouth, didn't you? Um, so, no, I read that wrong, but I already deleted it. Thought they said they dropped. Um, so yeah, I could like look behind him and give the specifics. I think the what's it called, the Westchester House. I think that's a good one because I said I broke down a little bit of how it was, but I wasn't too specific on the details of it because obviously my brain doesn't retain anything. But if I have it up on the computer to read, that would be good. Oh, was that I don't, let me see. With lingo, was that a bad thing or a good thing these days? You never know. Sounds like it was a bad thing. Yeah. So that would be something interesting to do and see how it goes. But a lot of people are so scared of ghosts and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm just wondering if it was a good thing or a bad thing. Let me see. When is so New Year's Eve is Wednesday night. This year did go by super fast. It sucked, but it went by super fast. There are a bunch of channels that do ghostly things and spooky things. They are successful, yeah. Did you hear how they said that? I don't think it's gonna be in any of our lifetimes. I think it's way off, but they're talking about how it's gonna be 25-hour days instead of 24 because how the moon is slowing things down. But like I said, it's like minute, when it does, but eventually there'll be 25-hour days. Um, what do you think about that? I wouldn't want a longer hour ad. I bet that hour they add on when they do it, it's gonna be for okay, now people can work 10 hours, instead of 9. This sticker says, if you were a font, what? So if you were a font, what would you be? That's what AI says. Like, what the hell? If you were a font, I don't think that's a good question to ask. Nobody knows what the heck font names are. Um, Wouldn't it take billions of years for that much to? And then I didn't read the article because I'm just like, they act like it's going to be closer than it should be. But I'm like I said, I'm sure it's not our lifetime or generations down the line. But it's just weird for it to be. Like I said, I know when that day comes, it's going to be okay. Now humans could work an extra hour, not give that hour free. Of course, Sweden. Maybe why that's why it is because it's like, oh, Sweden's here. Ask what the font name. So what would your font name? I guess be right. What did it ask? It goes away real quick if I don't. I don't know when it says something about the sticker part. What it if it would add it to something? I should click on it next. But so what font would you be, Sweden? Oh my goodness. The only font I probably remember is like bold or is it like italic or something like that? Two. Those are probably the only two. Okay, now I gotta look up what that looks like. And I'm not even trying to say that dang word. I can't believe we know fonts. Now we need, if people come in here, we need to ask in case they know. Well, what the heck? Are actually the font styles. So I'm really confused now. I didn't know there was a difference. Yeah, I don't get it. So how many fonts are there? The hell? Font 30 typefaces. Forget these. What the heck? I didn't even know there was all this stuff that had to do with font. No, thank you. So you could have normal text, bold text is thicker and darker, and italic makes it slanted. Yeah, but wait. But you're saying are actually the font styles, which means they're not font in general, though, because you picked one, so that wouldn't be a font. The one that you picked wouldn't be a font style either. Hey, Rainbow Bright, welcome in. I'm doing a little better on the pain thing. It's just that when I walk like now, and I get back to my room, I'm just like drive heaving for my life. I don't know. No, I know fonts, but wait, fonts have different names. No, I know that, but are you saying font styles are different than fonts in general? Like the one you named off, is that not a font style? I that's yeah, I was from pain, and then the pain wasn't so intense tonight, and I still dry heaved. So maybe my body just has a memory of it. I don't know. But you're confusing me on this font thing, sweet. Because when I said italic or bold or whatever, you said those are actually font styles. So that means they're not font. Yeah, today was dry heave. The other days I literally had to hold down, not I had to hold it down to not throw up. But today was just I knew it was just dry heaving. If you understand what I mean. I'm just glad the back pain isn't as bad, but like I'm still moving very slowly, making sure I'm not. I'm still taking very. I'm still being very cautious because just one move thinking I'm a little bit okay could just make it go back to the way it was. So I'm still doing things very slowly, getting back to a little tiny bit of routine. Like today, I got to clip my nails and comb out my hair, which was a nightmare, but I couldn't do it. That's how bad my back was out. I couldn't even comb my hair on it. I feel like I lost half my hair in nappiness, but yeah. Um, Different fonts have names like here comes. But and if you want to change the look of each font, oh yeah, that's too much information for my head. I didn't know all that though. Tweak, not twerk, stupid spell check. Oh, was yeah, try not to twerk. Actually, the only thing that helped me was um it's sort of like twerking. Of course, it's not all fast paced or whatever, but in bed to stretch your back and stuff. That's what I had to do. That's why I said that's the biggest thing that I've done for trying to save my hips from going out of place and trying to help my back when it gets that bad. It's just basically the exercise they give you like in physical therapy. I got one, with my back before. It was laying on my back and doing these things, and it's like there's no way that helped me. That didn't help me. That made it worse and made my knees worse. But if I do that on the side, it's just a slow twerk motion. Then that helps get things like back in place. So, in case you can't lay on your back, you could do it on your side. Of course, physical therapists don't tell you that because they probably don't think about that you can't, if you're in pain on your back all the time doing that, it's not going to help. So I do it on each side. Yeah, it's bad though. I think she was being funny with him. I'm just saying that's what helped me, the slow movement of it. Yeah. Because my daughter was like, "You got to get up and walk." I'm like, "Girl, I can't walk. Do you not understand that? I can't walk. Only when it's very necessary, which is only to the bathroom." Of course, they'll throw the ass in a circle that was hidden. But yeah, I was not going to try to have it just stiffen up to hell where I wouldn't be able to ever move again. So I had to go through the painful exercises and stuff. and then you just do the old school side things like where you lift your leg up and down when you're on your side. I forgot what those are called, but I had to do those. Just try to keep movement going. Oh, I just unhid it not too long ago when I was reading. I unhid it. Usually a mod's in here to unhide it, so I don't have to. So that's why I always say to them to let me know because I don't see it on the computer. But if I do it, I'll know that it's going up. Leg lifts. I don't know if they're. I guess that's what they're called. But yeah, hopefully soon I'll be able to make it to get these snacks over with that are from Christmas. I don't care if they're from Christmas. I bought them. I'm gonna test taste them. But since we have two people, we can start discussing something in case that brings new people in. Um, yeah. No, those weren't the treats that I bought early on. Before that, I bought some treats to try for my channel, but oh, we didn't do the three emojis either. The shortbread cookies and the cherry turtles. Those were just things I bought to eat, and they were new. I'm gonna miss the cherry turtles though. Those were so good. All right, we can put the three emojis in if you guys want to. If somebody's listening and wants to do it, we just do three emojis of that basically explains how your day was. And then you could explain it if you want to, but if you don't have to. My emojis are the unamused one. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's a different emoji, a different feeling. Then thinking, because I'm always thinking about if I'm doing the right thing. Then, of course, the last one's my lovely, whatever I've been having trouble with. Lisa hasn't fully come up yet, but dang. I just had some. Oh, I have yogurts too. I should have grabbed mine. Dang. Because I don't have a snack for my medicine later. I should have grabbed it. I just had some yogurt with strawberries, blueberries, granola, and honey. I just have some black cherry yogurt in there. The whole milk yogurt that I told you guys about that was tried before, which was good. How'd they get it? They raised it up 50 cents more. I'm like, you're crazy. I won't be buying that again. Um, so Sweetums, wait, doing the right thing. What, you talking about when I said I was wondering if I was doing the right thing? As far as just stopping this? Yeah, I was still pondering over that. I didn't know. I still don't know what to do. Alright, but what's your Sweetums? Yeah, about the channel. Mine is I was working on my grief workbook. Did a lot of writing and I feel marginally better and happier on tonight. Oh, thank you. So you think the steps in the book help you get through it? I think I've always been, for the most part, a griever in the right way, if that makes sense. um, I felt what I needed to feel, and I really didn't let anybody tell me it was wrong or anything like that. So I know there's a lot more to it to grieving, but I just know I've always felt things extreme when they happen. I think my sister, the last death that I did deal with it was more, like, oh, let me jump out into the world and talk to people because I need somebody to talk to. So that sort of didn't make me feel it totally, but I feel it in waves, and I think that's the best way for me to feel it because it's just too intense. Um, are you gonna do or did I see it? Is Rainbow Bright gonna do her emojis? Trying to get. Oh my gosh. Leaving my cousin out of the hospital and his home. Oh, that's good. Happy to be here with you guys. Yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys too. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother watching Stranger Things. Like, the last season was really it for me. And then even when I think of Stranger Things as a whole, that was just something that everybody's like, oh, you need to watch it, you need to watch it. It was nothing that I ever sat through like, oh, that was good. No. What helped was writing out my feelings so that they're not all stuck inside and growing. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. I'm always so happy you're here with us, Rainbow. I'm glad your cousin is home. Is Stranger Things getting dull? I think it's always been dull. I think they've always had good ideas, but they don't execute them well at all. And then they have extremely sucky ideas mixed in. So I don't know. The things that's been hyped up lately just have not been good. Oh yeah, you told me about that. Let me go on my Netflix and add that because I don't think I did last time. Um, The Beast in Me. Well, a lot of stuff is leaving soon. I'm gonna have to catch something. I pay for Netflix and I swear I don't even watch. Why is it? Oh, maybe my daughter watches this or something. Um, why can't I get it to add it so I'll remember? Well, dang it, hopefully I just remember because it's just playing. Oh, and it's about a recluse too. I wonder if they do recluse properly. So far, I haven't seen one done properly. Not how you really gotta live. Um, it's similar to the first one, but this one, I'm getting even more sidetracked. Yeah. Oh, I was just saying, like, I pay for it. I don't even. I try to watch at least one thing a month, so I won't feel like I'm wasting my money. But I usually don't. But I want to take it off. But my daughter's like, she pays for Hulu, so I gotta keep Netflix. I'm like, oh joy. I've had Netflix since they used to send. Yeah, me too. DVDs to the house. Yeah. But to be paying $20 a month and not even watching anything on it? No, no. She watches, I guess she gets, she watches a lot of stuff on there. Now, every time I come on at night, my stomach growls through the whole thing, which means it's not a hunger thing. Like I said, the growl is painful and it's just a nervous thing. And it's like I don't really feel nervous, but obviously my system does. I think it was like yeah, it was like 5.99 or and then it went to like 8.99 and then to like 10.99 and then they started jacking all the new people's prices up more than the older people. Now I think everybody's pretty much the same. Even when we're in the same house though sometimes it will be like you have too many people sharing the service. It's like you could have 20 people under there sharing the service under the same roof. It shouldn't matter if you're under the same damn roof. So they're getting to be a little too much with their shit. I hope I remember that. I always like watching movies, like I said, when they have Recluse or somebody that has agoraphobia and stuff, because I'm like, life is not like that. I know how life is. And it's not like how they make it seem. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do the ads. There's no reason. If I had to do the ads, I wouldn't be paying for anything. Oh, she's not completely. Yeah, well, Recluse, I guess they come out sometimes, but still, even if it's not entirely or completely, you're still living life a certain way that they haven't shown right when they do these movies or series. The ads on Prime are so. Oh, I know. I know. I can't stand that. That's why I hardly don't watch anything on there either. Even on Hulu though, Hulu has some stuff that has a lot of ads on it too, but some of the stuff that it's like half and half. But it's not hardly any ads on Hulu. But Prime, they're doing a little bit extra over there. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the one of the questions. And if you rewind to some place before the ads, oh, you have to watch the ads again. Oh, I didn't even know that. I don't think I ever tried to go back. That would really suck. Mm, so we're gonna go into. Oh wait, I went into the other thing. I'm gonna do number two. Like this says, anxiety in the digital age, how notifications, social media, and doom scrolling impact anxiety. Um, what do you guys think about that? I know that notifications for me, no matter if it's a notification for the alarm, whatever, I instantly get anxiety. So most of my stuff, I don't have it where I could hear the notification. Only my text messaging and just like two people on YouTube. Other than that, I don't do it because it's just too much anxiety for me. Um, Doom scrolling, I try not to do. Definitely, it's doom scrolling for me. Yeah, I haven't done it the last couple of nights, but because I've already feel crappy enough. But it just seems like it's set up to make you fail. Especially if you're a person that's self-destructive in a way. But yeah, it's like most life is like this made up crap now. That's why I said I only have it for two. And I might even take that off. Um, I turn off all my notifications except YouTube, but it doesn't make a sound, which I don't like because I always miss live streams. Yeah. Well, I'm careful about what channels I follow, though. I limit how much time I read the news. Yeah, for me, I read a lot of like when Yahoo News, because if I'm checking my email, I'll read a lot of that, or just from when I do like the body cam videos and stuff that usually throws a little bit news my way sometimes. That's my problem too, Rainbow YouTube notifications without sound. So I don't know. Sometimes you have to go into your personal notifications on your phone, not only YouTube notification, but your personal notifications. And sometimes it will say like next to YouTube, have sound on or off. Sometimes phones are like that. But I have most of mine were from that channels that I modded off of. Besides, I think like two, and I just think I'm gonna turn them all off. I don't know what happened. It used to make noise, but suddenly stopped. Yeah, that is weird. But it is very I mean, addicting for sure. It's my life. I don't watch regular TV anymore, so for years and years it was just me listening. I wish I knew what this channel was, but I just used to always listen to it. I don't know if I'm still subscribed to them. They just don't post anymore. But it was just a person, like a computerized voice, they just loaded all these people's stories into it. And for me, I was studying like humans because I went through a stage where I'm like, damn, I really like give people the benefit of the doubt and all this shit over and over again. And I'm really like, well, they had a bad life, they need love and all this. So I never picked up on like how anybody truly was, like truly, so I had to start listening to stories like this channel had it. Yeah, it was like AI voice, but it was like very computerized. They weren't trying to be like anything. It's your standard basic computerized voice basically. So with that, you're not hearing any personality or anything. You're just listening to the straight up voice. And then the people are sending stories like when they're narcissists, when they're sociopaths, psychopaths, and they're telling their stories about what they did to people and how they didn't give a shit and how they still don't give a shit, you know? So that made me realize, like, oh, damn, there's really people out here that are willing to be honest because they're not being seen. You know, their voices aren't being heard and they're not being seen. So they're sending all these damn stories. So I would listen to that. So I would listen to that for hours a day because I'm learning how people are, you know, naturally and stuff. And it's a ugly thing to learn. So it's like I learned that, you know, and then I just went on to start watching people and seeing their mannerisms and stuff like that, like really studying people because obviously I got it wrong. YouTube allowed that, and then they stopped allowing it. So I don't know if if the content went away because I haven't seen it anymore. And I know when I was listening to it, the last times, which was a couple of years ago, they were like, "Well, YouTube basically is cracking down," and I think YouTube just doesn't let them do it anymore. But that helped me a lot to know people in general, people telling their true shit. You know, that helped me. Um, you couldn't do it. You wouldn't want to hear how people really are, like how they truly confess to that. How? Then that means you know, like you want to go on like la la la. Everybody's not a bastard when they mostly are. They know their ruthless. Yeah, and they do not care. They do not care, and they'll do it time and time again. What about the podcasts that aren't on YouTube? There's a lot of true crime stuff. There's a lot of true crime stuff on YouTube. You just can't say a lot of words anymore. But horror movies I'm okay with because it's fake. But true crime stuff. You see, but why not learn the how humans are? That's why even on dash cams, you know, and body cam stuff, it's like I studied that a couple hours a day because it's like that's what outside is. When you're outside, you're walking amongst the people. Why not know how their personality is? How, you know? It's so crazy how somebody tries to be so nice, and then when they find out they're arrested or whatever, and they're in the back of the car spilling all this hatred and all that. It's just so crazy how first you're like, oh no, I'm okay, I'm this and that. Then it's like, you bastard. I hope your whatever dies. I hope this dies. I'm like, wow. And you know they do that to their people too. If they could do it, they're not just doing it to the officer. That's something they're used to doing. The thing about true crime is so many of those girls couldn't have been saved if they only if they only had tasers, yeah, or pepper spray. I have a hard time with true crime too, yeah. Not me. I want to know what the heck's going on out there. I reduced the amount that I used to watch. And then if I used to find like a somewhat really interesting story, I'll go into it and find other things about it and stuff. I stopped doing that. Like I stopped going down the rabbit holes for the most part. Um, because it is scary how people could be, but it's like those are people. Those are your neighbors. Those are, you know, it's just like you're fooling yourself not, you know, paying attention to what's like around you. My sister loves all the true crime and horror movies, and she's on some grim Facebook groups too. Oh no. I've never done Facebook groups with true crime or anything. I don't even think horror movies I had. I don't think so. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Anytime I try to join the group, every time I say something, and for some reason my comment gets ignored, but everybody else's gets responses to it. I don't know. It's like I'm a repellent or something. I swear. It doesn't matter if it's a makeup group, if it's a agoraphobia group, It just doesn't matter. It's like I repel people. Let me plug in this computer. Where's my code? Plug in. There you go. She said she saw a photo. Oh, wait. Did it plug in? Come on. She said she saw a photo of a girl who got mauled by a bear and it ate her. Oh, no. Wait, did the person live? Nether parts. That's not funny that happened. I'm talking about the words that you used are funny. Oh no. Oh, it was the body. I know my sister just warned me to not look at that attack with that dog. What was it, the last couple of days where the dog attacked the baby? And I'm so glad she warned me not to look because anytime I see a little tiny something that tries to make it that story, I hurry up and click off. Because she said it's horrible. I don't want to see that. I guess a pit bull attacked a baby. Oh, heck no. Facebook group showing bodies. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't really watch the news anymore except for in winter, the weather or something. But yeah, I try to keep away from so many things that I used to. I used to be doing it all day though. I remember my older sister used to be like, "Would you stop it? Like, what the hell have you been doing?" When I go, because I would get all these stories, I'd be telling her, and she's like, "What the heck's wrong with you?" um, you have to protect your mental health. But there's something to do with that. I forgot what it's called, but it's something where if you lived a terrible nightmarish life, which I have, it's like they say you have to even the field basically of how you feel with what you watch, and that's somewhat of a comfort. So I forgot what the technical name for it is. Because I watch if I'm taking a nap or something, if I'm playing something, it's like scary stories. It's not like all crime stuff, but it's just people telling their stories. So it could be about ghosts, whatever. It's a mixture of stuff. And that's how I fall asleep into a nap. I curate what I watch, and I got a YouTube notice on my Sultan's account that said they changed some settings because they couldn't verify that I was an adult. Oh my goodness. What the heck? Let's see. Well, we already know about the sleep stuff. Um, we don't need men's help. What about loneliness epidemic? community building, and meaningful connections. Um, Hi, Winter Moon. Oh no, it's okay. Like I said, I don't want you guys to lose sleep, so don't feel sorry. I can't believe you could fall asleep to scary stories. Yeah, that's why I said that. That comforts me because I've just lived such a horrid life. I have no idea what that notification even meant. Yeah, that's weird. But you know, now they're asking like for you to scan your ID for a lot of stuff now on here. Um, but yeah, the next little subject we were going to talk about is the loneliness epidemic, community building, and meaningful connection. Um, Obviously, well, that's sort of what we were talking about before. We're like, you know, having little YouTube chats or whatever, and then I always felt the Facebook chat. It never worked for me. Um, like I said, I always see people talking and supporting each other on the pages, but then when I say something, I get, like I said, I get crickets. I don't understand how, um, when I try to set out to do something, no matter where it is, it doesn't work. And I do, and it's like it's not what I'm saying because other people will say the same thing I'm saying. So I just don't know why it just doesn't work. Do you guys get comfort in like if you go on Facebook in those groups, or is it just a lot of YouTube stuff? Um, YouTube for a lot of stuff for YouTube now, they're gonna tell you to scan your ID. I just sent a picture of my ID to Facebook to retrieve. Yeah, never got on Facebook. Well, Facebook doesn't work for me. I thought it would, but it doesn't. And then, like I said, for the chats on YouTube, it just doesn't feel the same anymore. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I don't think it's anything wrong with the hosts or anything that I watch. You know, because it's with everybody. I don't know if it's just it got to be just the overall feeling I have. But I watch several. I watch up to I think probably 8 people that do live streaming and stuff, and there's not one where I'm just like yay anymore. And that sucks because that was my community. So it's like I lost my community. So what the heck am I supposed to do? Um, feel like my medical conditions are getting worse and I'm now been in a bad space. Well, your medical conditions do get worse if you're under a lot of stress. That's why I try not to. I try my best not to, you know, get too stressed, even though I'm stressed all the time. But especially when you're dealing with a death that's gonna make it, you know, make you get more sick. You just the only thing you can do is try to push yourself out of that negative space, but you just naturally are going through mourning, so it's gonna be super super hard. But what was I gonna say? Well, I know I have one of my original Facebooks that I don't know. Nobody hacked it. I think I probably just have to change the password to get in and get all those pictures out. I never saved pictures through all these years. I always just let them go, and I don't know why. I feel like I don't like seeing myself back in pictures. But my daughter's a different thing. I want to be able to have pictures of her. I think the first couple of months you're just gonna be in complete shock. Yeah, that's why I said it's really hard to um not stress over. You mean because you're grieving? Period. That's why I said it's gonna be very hard. Not you can't tell you, oh, don't worry, don't do this because you're in grieving. It just happens. Um, I tried to download one of them and it would not load. We'll try again. Have to travel again today. Oh no. And is it windy? I know it's windy there if it's windy here. I think it's windy almost everywhere. Um, but yeah, so I guess a meaningful connection thing. For me, it's hard because I don't go anywhere. Um, I'm not going to go anywhere, so it's like I can't. I used to go out to like poetry, like when they would do like poetry at night and stuff like that when I was in Philly. But when I moved out of Philly, I feel like there was no social scene for me. So would anybody try to go out and like go to like if they have um groups for like you know they have people get together for grieving and stuff. Would you guys do that type of thing? Like where they have meetups of, when you're grieving to see people. What are they called? When it's in person. Why can't I think of the name? But what did you try that? Or, well, not group therapy, it's support group. Yeah, support group. But it's not online, it's in person. Um, Winter, would you try meditation? I have Headspace app. And, oh, okay. Also, I'm keeping stuff aside about it's affecting me. I feel like I won't be able to grieve properly. This is the only place online I've ever found meaningful connection where I could share. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to join. I completely shut down whenever someone close to me had passed. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. So everybody's pretty much like me. They're like, hell no to the. This has been my support group because it takes a lot. Yeah. The biggest thing about the mind is, and I hope you hear me, Winter, when it comes to grieving and everything like that, I know that personally somebody could be in your space and maybe slow down your grieving period, but no one could take over your mind unless you like let them. So you could actually grieve a certain way just by, like I said, doing your own thing and ignoring the outside influence because you do have control over your thoughts and everything. So, I don't know how to say it in ways. It's like, and you don't have, it doesn't have to have anything to do with her at all, the grieving process, is what I'm saying. Because, like I said, you're the only one that has control over your mind and what you want to do, for yourself. Um, yeah, that's the thing. You don't owe her anything. You don't. So whatever process you want to start, you can start. Yeah. So just don't let it happen to you. How she was with him. Don't let the same thing happen to you. The biggest power anybody has in any situation is what they could do with their mind. Because, like I said, nobody can really get control of that unless you do become brainwashed and stuff like that. So that's a big part to get through anything. I know there's a lot of people like that, Winter Moon, that don't ever have to face the consequences of how they are. That's pretty much why they stay like that, because they don't face a consequence. But you know what the biggest consequence they could face is you leaving. There's also a number. Let me make sure it's the right number. Shit. Hold on a second. So remember how I told you that this is for everybody in general. If anybody listens back or just listening. Um what is that? I forgot the other number. Oh, how I said the 988 is the national suicide or crisis lifeline that you could call just like 911, but it's for mental health crisis. There's also a number that you could text, which is 471-471. And that's just if you don't want to actually talk on the phone to anybody. It's for texting. So you text it and somebody responds and they talk to you. It doesn't necessarily have to like come up with a plan or whatever. It's just somebody talking to you. Where that's a lot of the time what a lot of people in crisis need. And I know these days, a lot of people don't like calling lines. So the chat number once again is the text number once again is 471-471 for people that feel like they need somebody to talk to, and like I said, they don't want it to. They have nervousness about an actual person answering the phone. This is just strictly texting. So, hopefully that helps anybody out there that is listening to this and needs that type of attention. Oh, this one, when we talk the mental health thing, it says crisis response and suicide presents prevention resources, hope, and support. Um, I listed off the resources. But yeah, well, I always want to remind myself to share it because I know that a lot of people are in a real dark space and it's hard to like get the words out or say it to family members or friends and stuff like that. So there's always a way now. There's so much ways nowadays to try to reach out and um get the help you need. And like I said, a lot of people just need to get out words and talk and stuff like that, and it could change things around a little bit. And I think that the reminder for loved ones and friends that when somebody's talking, sometimes that's all they need to do. You know, they just need to get it out, know that somebody heard it, and that's it. So maybe before you start talking to somebody, if you know that they're down, you could say, what do you need from me? You know, if it is advice on the next step to take or stuff like that, you know, but if it's, you need to say, hey, I'm just willing to listen. Especially during this time of year, it's tough. Yeah, we lose a lot of people. Stuff for a lot of us, and I'm not talking financially, but emotionally. There's a lot of people that don't make it into the next year, you know. And that's why I always stress the point of I'm not going to change these things on my channel, even if YouTube doesn't want to push it out because we talk about these things. Because if it's the more people are saying that you're more mental health is more out there and people are more talking about, that's not true. It's being hidden more and more because people can't talk about it. So I hope not everybody just shuts up, and I hope people keep on talking about it, and not people that just want money. I'm so sick of seeing on like Instagram and stuff people saying there's just one guy that says I'm depressed, please cash at me. And it's like, dude, you're not gonna do anything else with your brand, your name. You know, you could say, hey, I'm doing this and I'm doing this through depression, but your everyday thing is I'm depressed, send me some money. Like that makes me sick when people do things like that because it's like you could be much more than you would do say much more than that, even if you have depression every day like me. Mine never goes lower. If anything, it intensifies. But I'm not gonna say, oh, send me some money because of it. Like, what's wrong with people? And that's every time he goes on there. He's like, I'm depressed. I'm this. I'm depressed. That's his first line. So, like, I'm depressed. Send some money to my Cash App, basically. And then he does like food reviews. But why not do the food review and then maybe during it say, okay, maybe I'm still depressed or whatever. But don't headline with I'm depressed because that's gonna make people think they're not gonna like it one, and then they're gonna think people that are really have depression are always thinking it's all about money or something. You know, that's what's happening now. There's so many people that are saying, "I'm this, I have this, I have this." You know, here's my Cash App. The biggest thing I knew when people were like that when I told you we had this storm that was the worst storm in America for snow and stopped the city dead in its tracks. And people were like, "My Cash App is this." Hello, a Cash App ain't gonna help nothing. You're stuck in the snow. How about I'm stuck here or something? But you think it's necessary before your phone battery dies to say my Cash App is this? Like, come on. I mean, we'll all we'll all always smile and act like everything was fine growing up, No one spoke about anything. Yeah, that's a lot. That's how a lot of people are. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score, and it's about how the mental trauma you experience can manifest itself into physical ailments. For sure. I always got told I was being over dramatic or something, or it's not that bad. And even if the outside world or it wasn't that bad, what I'm feeling inside is that bad. You can't tell me it's not that bad. It is that bad. That's why I'm feeling that way. That's called anxiety. That's called depression. So somebody saying it's not that bad, that doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't change how I'm feeling. So that's why I said I had to do a lot of self discovery. I had to pick my own brain, and I'm like, well, what are you going to do with this? How are you going to survive this? I had no choice for the most part. Like, everybody basically, a lot of people abandoned me and stuff. So I didn't have any other choice. That's why I said I know people could do it alone. I had to do it alone for a lot of years. I feel like I've done so much damage to self and made. Yeah. I don't think it's not too late to change some things, Winter Moon. I think the biggest part is to try to not feel so bad about some decisions you made and see what you can do to make things better for yourself. And like just even you saying like somebody's like manipulating you, that means you have the brain power to turn it around. Because a lot of people that are manipulated don't even know they are. So that you're aware shows that your brain is more powerful than you think it is. Because yeah, I'm looking over these these topics that Sweden sent me. That's why I'm a little quiet right now. Substance use and mental health recovery co-occurring conditions. Co-occurring conditions. Oh no, grandbaby's crying. Usually he sleeps through the night. Co-occurring conditions. Oh, I never knew that was a thing. Co-occurring conditions. That's me without the substance abuse, though. Oh, poor babykins. What you crying about? Um, He's okay. I just never hear him cry at night usually, but believe me, his mama makes sure he's okay for sure. I think she's a narcissist, Winter, and there are channels that give you the tools to deal with a narcissist. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of therapists and doctors out there that have their own channels that talk about that type of stuff. I'm telling you, then once you get away from something like that, you just never accept it in again, which is a good thing. But there are so many narcissists out there. But that she could think she's whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like whatever she thinks and stuff, and whatever happens to her, that's on her. You gotta, for your well-being, you have to move on from that. I used to think when I was stuck in situations how much more I like. First of all, just leaving was what I did. I thought about revenge and what I could really do with the information that I knew and all that type of stuff. And you know what? That's still karma if you believe in karma. I mean, even if you feel like somebody deserves something and you put that plan, it's like, no, if somebody's going to get theirs, they'll get theirs. The best thing you could do is get away from them, take yourself out of the situation, and then they don't have you anymore. That's the best thing you could do. And don't worry about whatever the hell they get or don't get anymore. Yeah, they feed on others' energy. That's the thing. Most people want you. They don't want you happy because if you're happy, they're not going to keep you around for long. So it's like they pick certain people so that they can keep on feeding off them for years and years and years because that's the only way they get by in life is feeding off of others. So if you take others out of that situation, they're not going to be happy. You know? Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. Like I said, I keep on saying you got to get away. I don't know. That's not somewhere you should be living, especially if you could afford to live somewhere else. But yeah, I was just saying when I was looking up this mental health stuff, where it says co-occurring conditions, having two or more health issues at the same time, most commonly a mental health disorder and a substance. So I don't have. Is it still? But also multiple. Okay, but also multiple physical and mental illnesses like depression with anxiety or diabetes with heart. So it has to be specific like that for it to be co-occurring. So these conditions interact, often worsening each other, creating a complex cycle where one condition can trigger the other, requiring integrated treatment that addresses all diagnoses. Simultaneous, what's it? So, okay, that word, why can I say it? Simultaneously, oh my god, I know that word anyway. For effective recovery. I really think if you got anything out of what I just said, because I got nervous reading it or whatever, but that's what doctors need to do more. They need to stop saying, oh, let's treat this one thing first, and then move on to the second. It's like, no, you have all these, if you have all these chronic illnesses, how about treating them all? And, it's just, doctors just don't do that. They're like, let's take care of this one thing and then this, and it just never works out. Um, yeah, what Sweetums says, if you can't afford to, there's not anything, um, there's just let her live in her room, like really. But when they also talk about, when they're talking about co-occurring conditions, that's the biggest thing. They're saying that it's with regular physical health problems, mental health disorders, and like addiction things, right? But the thing, and like I said, I always speak on my sister on this. They, they wouldn't give her treatment because of her addiction issues, even if she hadn't used for 2 years, 3 years. When it came to her being diagnosed with certain things, they would only give her medicine for a couple of months. And when the medicine actually worked, like for depression or something, they would eventually take it from her saying, well, you're dependent on something, so you can't take this medicine, even though it wasn't like SSRIs, none of those things, none of the habit forming medication. Even for arthritis medicine, they wouldn't give her anything for that. And that's why I said when they talk about treating conditions and stuff, for most people, they don't do it the right way. So doctors need to wake the hell up. So many people won't end up dying, because if you're not going to treat somebody with addiction with regular medicine, they're going to just run back to their addiction, because especially if they have one where they don't feel pain on it. But I feel like the system is set up for that failure. Anybody want to chime in on that? You find a doctor who's a DO and not an MD. What this deal? They're still. Oh, I just wonder if insurance would pay for those. Yeah, I highly doubt insurance will pay for that. Because that's why I was gonna look into. I know there's a lot of places that do all those the infusions of certain vitamins and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, insurance does not play. They don't want you to have anything that might be a little bit convenient to you. It just doesn't happen. Let me see. I'm about to see. G-O. It will be something I could look into for sure. But I just know I could just hear. Um. I would have to ask my primary about that. But because with insurance, your primary doctor has to do referrals for anywhere you go. Well, my insurance. Oh, we have a lot here, surprisingly. Yeah, that sounds interesting. So the letters come after the name. So it won't say MD, it will say DO. Or does it say both? That would be. I'd rather find somebody like that than the stupid neurologists we have here. They're horrible. They're really horrible. Wow, no Gina 2 nights in a row? I hope she's okay. Okay. Have any of you guys had to, like, deal with anybody with addictions? If you want to say it. Like I said, I know my dad. My dad, not in his later years, but he had already destroyed, his body in so many ways by the time he quit. Um, and so, when my sister was really bad in her ways, my dad would try to talk to her, and my sister was told me later on, she's like, "Why would I listen to a man that never gave up anything for us?" And I was like, "Well, damn, I guess that's not gonna work." And for me, I know that um my younger years, once, like I said, when I the first taste of alcohol for me, it was like um I knew if I didn't stop, eventually I would be. And like I said, that would probably be the thing I would go to if I did 2 years of drinking heavily, and like I think every person does around that age, but not as hardcore as I did, and so I know now not. I know I've known for the past 30 years or so not to like in the last 30 years. I barely drink. Like if I drink, it's only a few shots, and it's hardly ever, like I said. But I've gone years without even taking a sip of anything. So it's not a habit, but I know it could be. I could form that habit easily. You don't have any experience with addiction, so no family members or anything. Wow. Oh yeah, there's definitely a genetic component for sure. I had a brother and a sister both die from overdosing. Thanks, Williams. That sucks. It's like you've had no like no type of addiction, and actually a good upbringing, and then some illness has to like just knock everybody out of your world. That is so fucked up. For my life, it's like what is expected. Unfortunately, shit. Because my life's always been shit, but it's sad to hear that, you just the upbringing was good. I mean, it's good that you had that type of upbringing. But I said, it's just really fucked up that you had to lose the people so early on and stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. We're nerdy Asians in my family. Yeah. So you're pretty much just like you think are like do you think you have like any uh how do I'm trying to think of what's the right way. Like do you think you take any like risks or stuff like that? Like yeah, I guess that would be it. Do you think you ever like tempt fate a little bit or get a little loose and crazy like that type of thing? Drinking, drugs, men, women, what, like anything like that. I know you say budget, so I can't say spend too much. Or you know, so. Oh, dang, you started at 12. Wow. So was there a reason why you quit? Was it getting to a level to be where you were drinking too much? Or you just didn't like it? So pretty much after that, you've probably been safe and secure in your little bubble, besides the horribleness of what you had to deal with your family, you know, losing your family. Yeah. Your first and only boyfriend was from the Philippines, but wow. I feel like I have lived just so much more life than you guys. And I stopped basically doing things at 28 though. But all before then, I always was. Everybody always called me the goody two shoes. But you know, oh no, yeah. But yeah, there's so much more you could do without smoking now, especially when it comes to bud and everything. You don't gotta smoke it. And they're even having what's it called? Mushrooms. I hear that there's like mushroom candy bars and stuff. I wish they had that type of stuff here. I would try it. The edibles don't do anything for me though. Oh gosh, yeah. Wow. Mm. Well, do you feel like you have fun without all that stuff? Do you feel like there's, I mean, people don't need to do anything to have fun. Do you feel like you like ever have fun. I mean, I could have fun without doing anything, but for me, it has to be like complete like aloneness. I can't do it around people for some reason. When I'm alone, and when I haven't been alone in so long, but when I know they're gonna be gone for a couple hours, I'll be like singing to my stuff or whatever. I won't do it with somebody in here. You don't feel like you're missing on anything. Well, that's good. As far as like not doing drugs or anything, but I'm saying, what about um like relationships and stuff? I don't know. People, sometimes you're careless with people, like if you get in a relationship or something. I'm like, where's the naughty at, sweetums? That's what I'm trying to find out, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it right. You shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? Let's see, who the fuck are you? Everybody, let's report this person before they get banned because, yeah, the more reports channels like that get, the more they won't stay up no matter where how many accounts they get. That's a form of harassment and bullying in case you don't know. What did they do? Did they delete? Oh no. Okay. Do you guys still see the message? Oh yeah. Why is it still there? That's weird. You're weird. Your mama and your daddy's weird. Whatever kids you're gonna create. First of all, weird. I like being weird, so thank you. But you can also go fuck yourself. There we go. Um, yeah, I don't know, but I blocked them and they still had a message. There was still the message of you're weird up here. Usually when you block someone, they all delete. I'm glad I'm not like fucking idiots that have to come in and try to make people feel bad with their simple ass speaking that they just copy and paste from another human being. Like, fuck you. I'll be weird. Let me stay weird. You're the happiest being left alone. Yep, for sure. I don't really have any vices. I live in Vegas and I don't care to gamble much either. Dang. You're very interesting, Sweetums. So have you had like relationships though? I'm talking about like, relationships. Are you like Winter Moon? Winter Moon said she only had one. I've only had real like relationships. They still sucked, but I think I've only had like a total of three. Then a few encounters, but not very much. I've just had a lot of the experience with all the stuff with the relationships that I've had because they've been a little bit long, but it hasn't been like with a whole bunch of people or anything like that. They were listening for a minute. They must have been. That's what I'm saying. So they listened just to see, how could I try to fuck up their world? I'm sure he slapped me high five after I reported the bully first time. For me, yeah. I'm the opposite of interesting. I'm so super boring, but I'm fine with it. I'm a square and boring too, sweet. I think I'm boring too, because like I said, I haven't. I stopped everything when I was 28, pretty much. You know, I've had a few encounters through the years, but it hasn't been hard. Been hardly ever. So, everybody has always called me like I said, they always act like I need to get a little looser, which I never would. I was, nobody forced me to do anything, which is good. But remember, you're feisty and excited. That's why I'm like, I don't know why you guys like me. If I'm like the way I am, and then you guys are like the way you are, I feel like bad that I'm the, like I don't know. I feel like it might be too much for you guys because I'm that way. But I've always thought I was too. That's why. But I was never, like I said, for me, the company that I kept, they had to be a certain way for me. So that means, like, for them, they had to be hoes, even not around me. So I obviously seemed way more innocent to them because they were always doing way more. So it was always like, oh, you're not gonna do this? No, I'm not about to go to clubs that see each other, doing stuff to each other. No, I'm not. I'm not a voyeur or nothing like that. So people always made it like I wasn't doing enough because I wasn't trying to be with multiple people at the same time, or like I said, go to places like they have clubs where people, are doing it in rooms and people could just walk by and watch. I don't want to see that, and I don't want to do that. And I always got told, "Oh, you don't do this." Oh, I forgot. You didn't forget, bitch. You know how I am. So that's why I always like wind up leaving somebody because I can't stand hearing all the stuff I don't do. I feel like I did a lot as a person. It just wasn't enough to keep somebody happy. I admire you. You are not afraid to speak up and have some. I do have some fun stories. So I feel the same way, but yeah, I just don't want to ever feel like my questions or something are too much. Oh yeah, I would I that's why I said I've done that before I got sick. I've been to places like that, but I also when it like I don't go up to people and like touch them and stuff because that's against the rules one, and I wouldn't want anybody doing that to me. So I've always respected people's boundaries and everything. Like I said, besides this one time where I went to a um it was called a drag show. I don't know if that's politically correct these days, but I went to one and I was tall, so a drag queen went up to me and squeezed my boobs thinking I had implants because they thought I was dressed in drag, and I'm like, I'm a female. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry. And then I noticed they had implants. And I never squeezed implant before, so I'm like, well, could I squeeze your implant? And he let me, so I got to see how an implant felt. A fake boobie. But that's about the only time. Other than that, like I said, I respect boundaries and rules. But yeah, I think gay bars and clubs are better than straight ones because you have way more people not in straight ones. There's always people like trying to fight and stupid women thinking you're trying to be competition and stuff like that. Um, Gay bars have always been way more chill, way more laid back. What did it feel like? It felt kind of hard. Not just between like the skin and the implant, it didn't feel like a normal like fat squeeze. It felt tighter than that. I wouldn't say hard. It just felt a little bit tight. But other than that, it felt like a boob. That's why it's like I don't think I'm boring and stuff, but people act like I was all that time, you know. But yeah, it did just feel like a boob, but it was a little bit more firm. So maybe Charlie said that, I guess, where they might be able to touch the dance or so. But I'm too much of a germaphobe. I don't care how clean somebody looks. I'm not touching them. I'm squeezing my boob as she described to see what mine feels like. Oh, yours, you have implants too? Wait, I'm squeezing my boob. Or you're saying just to compare it to implants. Now all these messages are being held and I don't have no mod to um in a blind test could you pick. I think I could. Yeah. Cuz I felt both, of course. I'm bi, so well, I came back to booby touching. All those I had to unhide. Hopefully you guys see them. I don't know. No one puts. Oh, natural. You were just seeing. Yeah. Um. Yeah. The skin just definitely feels tighter, but I'm sure they loosen up as time goes on. You know. I don't know how long he had his, but And then even I don't know what a full boob feels like except mine, like a natural one. Because the women that I've been with, they haven't really the women I've been with didn't want like their boobs touched or anything, so I really haven't felt up a good real boob. Oh, so you guys did see that message because I don't see it on my. It doesn't show. I don't know why it doesn't show me on my laptop that if something's seen or not. Where'd you go, Rainbow? We didn't know you left somewhere. Did you fall asleep? But yeah, if somebody were to say, "Do you want to go out to a gay bar or a straight bar?" It would be definitely be the gay bar. Did I finish all that? Did my chat freeze or everybody just stop chatting? Hello? Oh, it didn't freeze. Trying to figure out if my dog had to pee or wanted food, so we did both. Oh, had a little snack. I was listening. Oh, I meant I don't have my snack before I take my medicine because usually I have the tuna salad or whatever in a can. And for some reason, nobody's been having them lately. And my Walmart order, the last time I ordered from was canceled because they said they didn't have it. Then this time they said they were going to deliver it, but I think everything got held up because of the wind, so I don't even know if I'm going to get it. So I'm probably going to be in major pain tomorrow because I guess I might be able to find something in the freezer, which means going out there and maybe hurting my back more. And then I can't eat the pouch ones because for some reason the pouch ones, like I said, I'm allergic to this stuff, so I don't know why the pouch ones mess me up. It's the ones in the can, the little cans. It comes in a little box. It has the can and it has crackers. I usually don't eat the crackers. I usually either make it in a sandwich or like put it with Doritos or something. I won't. I don't. I mean, I'll eat the crackers if I have to, but I usually don't. But if I try to do it myself, like mix it myself, I get a bad reaction. For some reason, the crap in the can must be less tuna, more fake. So that's the only reason why I could eat it, which sucks because I cannot find any other snack besides a turkey sandwich, which I do. I do that like half the week, a turkey sandwich. I don't want to do it every day of the week, so that's when the tuna came in place. Now, I don't know. I feel like I wish I could make chicken salad, but then I get scared about, you're only supposed to keep stuff like that in the refrigerator like 2 days or something. But I definitely have to find something else because not having a snack means I'm not going to take my medicine that I need. But if I try to take it without one, my stomach will be tore up. Yeah, but I can't even do like canned tuna. I can't make it myself. I can't use a regular can of canned tuna or the pouch because the reaction gets is for me is horrible. And then even the little cans that are made, like I said, they turned it into mainly oil. It's not even mayo in there anymore. So I might have to buy like pouches of mayo that I can keep in my room. Because the problem is going back and forth to the refrigerator when my back is out and stuff like that. It's a no go. It's not gonna work. So I might have to find packs of mayo. It has mayo. It has mayo. Then it has the tuna with carrots in it and water chestnuts and celery mixture. But now they're having way more of the vegetable part and way less of the tuna. It still says the same amount of protein, but I don't know. Rotisserie chicken would mean me having to go to the kitchen. I'm trying to eliminate the kitchen process for half the week at least. Because me bending down and stuff is not going to be working when my back's like this. Yeah, like that. So just mainly stuff I could do in my room, not go in the kitchen and do it. Yeah. Your mom was like, I ain't spending money on shit. Dang. And I used to be able to do the pouch tuna, but for some reason, my system just won't do it anymore. A lot of stuff I've had to eliminate. I only have one outlet in this room. I don't know where the other outlet is. It's hidden somewhere behind a damn tote or something. So I can't get a little refrigerator. Um, that's what I said. When we get the heck out of this stupid house, I'm definitely gonna have to have a room that has all that stuff. But yeah, I think I wish I knew where the other outlet was. If it's close to where I am, that would make a huge difference. We never really had damn trips or anything really in our family. I'm trying to think. No, not outside of anywhere. Everywhere I went was after like 17 or something. And one time I visited my sister in Boston, but that was like when I was 13. We didn't really have like family trips, so I'm like, what food would they have done? Nothing, because we were malnourished. My sister was reading up on something, because she always reads up on all the medical stuff. She can retain so much information I can't. My brain's like blah blah blah. But she was just reading up on something where they're saying there's, I don't know if they have already or they're about to or they're doing studies on it where they're saying it's stage 5 diabetes or something, where they're saying that kids basically that were malnourished, their body never regulated, and so they end up getting, you know, insulin resistant and all this stuff, because you got to think about it. When you're not eating day after day and pretty much you're only eating lunch from school, the weekends you don't have lunch from school, you know, vacations you don't have lunch from school, the days you miss you don't have lunch from school. A lot of the times I was picky, so I wasn't eating the lunch from school. You know, so basically I'm scrounging up trying to find quarters and shit to at least get $1 to go to the corner store. And when you go to the corner store with $1, you're not picking something healthy. You know, you're picking your chips, your candy, and your sausage or your pickle if you have a little bit over $1. So anyway, they're talking about how that changes, you know, everything, and that's true. It really does. I still, for the most part, will only eat one meal because I feel like if I try to go in for 2 meals, I will. Well, I wouldn't be able to afford it anyway with how things are. But my body still lives like sort of off of the way I did because I'm just so used to it. I have a power strip and it has everything plugged into it, so I couldn't plug in a refrigerator. That would blow out my outlet that I do have. Because the outlet that I do have has my laptop charger, the phone charger, my lamp, my something diffuser. So it has 6 things going or something. So there's no way I could plug in a refrigerator. Believe me, I thought about it. That was the first thing I thought about. Because my last trip in here, like the last trip I hope I make for the night, which it works out for the most part, is like around 4 in the morning. And every time I do something and get back in here, I'm breaking out like in sweat, ready to throw up, like my body is just done. So I really need to have that. That's why I hope in the next house, well, in the next house there will have to be equipped to some of the things I need. I was a kid that didn't eat lunch at school or breakfast. And well, we didn't have a choice, like I said, because or I wouldn't be eating, you know. But a lot of the school lunches I did miss because I couldn't do it. But we would breakfast time if my dad would take us there early enough. We would have breakfast sometimes too. They used to have breakfast used to be the good little biscuit sausages and like donuts and apple juice and stuff like that. I can't do protein shakes. I've tried protein shakes. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just I've tried every fucking thing. And then my daughter started doing what's it called? The protein drinks, like mixing them all together. And if something's too thick for me to drink, I just it doesn't go down. So yeah, she's like, I'm never making these for you again. I'm like, well, I told you not to make it in the first place. The smoothies, oh my goodness. I don't see how people do all that. So that's why I said I've been trying years to try to get things I could do. Even the little things I used to heat up in the microwave, they don't sell a lot of this stuff anymore, the frozen stuff. The protein waters now they're pretty good. Protein waters? I don't think I've ever heard of protein waters. They have insured juice? What does that cost? Like $30. I know Ensure when I used to get it from my dad was so much money. Protein waters. Where have I been? I've never heard of these things. Now I'm looking up while we're talking. Protein waters. What? Is it what do I think I'm already using? Oh no. I gotta look into those. And then Ensure has juice? What? Oh, I gotta try to see if there's a flavor I'll actually drink with the protein waters. Then Ensure juice. Oh yeah, they are a lot of money. Maybe hopefully they have a combination that I'll actually like it and I'll try these. Thank you guys. I didn't even know these things existed. Definitely have to try it. Yeah. Hopefully I do at least get my tuna fish delivered tomorrow. Even the turkey I get so mad because I write in the notes for the shopper to get it fresh from the deli instead of getting it already made like the deli cuts it up and puts it in packages and it sits out there and it's not fresh and it's way too thick. I like thinly cut deli meat turkey. And now every time they just get the thick stuff even though it says do not do not do that. So now I feel like saying, "Hey bitch, do not grab the grab and go turkey. Go to the fucking deli and say you want thinly sliced turkey that I'm paying for." Shit. Um, Definitely all kinds of stuff now. Yeah. Where do you order your grocery? Off of Instacart from Wegmans, the grocery store. Wegmans used to be like one of the best grocery stores around. The produce and everything. You want to be able to find bad produce in there. Now it's like you're lucky if you get any good ones. So it's really going downhill. Because I won't get produce from anywhere else because it usually sucks. So I don't know if they make the shopper say, "So since they're just getting it at home, just give them the crappy stuff and give the people that shop in store the good stuff." I really feel like that's what they do. Because I'm telling you, in my notes, I put, yeah, it's an East Coast thing. I put in my notes, no wilted, no brown spots, no, extra wet stuff, because extra wet stuff usually just is gross. Like, yeah, I break it down in there and they still try to play me. And I better get all my 80, I still haven't checked to see if the $80 is going to be taken off my next shopping trips. They should have put that right back on my card, so they better take it off the next time, which should be tomorrow. If not, I'm going to be calling corporate, which I don't want to do, but I will do. What is that? Wait, what is that? Rainbow, the doggedy dozen ladies there buying everything up. I don't like football season because That's when everybody buys up all the celery for their veggie platters that nobody eats. So they're buying up my celery. And I've only been able to get like the little packs of celery. Usually I buy big packs. Yeah, but now they're saying take a picture. Okay. I know who you're talking about. Um, oh yeah. What to have that many kids here on some level. As I said, we had altogether 10 kids in the house. And 7 were my mom's. The other 3, were my dad's, but still my mom took care of us all together. But to have that many kids, hell no. For me, like I said, wasn't a kid person anyway because I had too scared of mental health being transferred on and all that stuff. But even after the one, I knew I was done. I don't see how anybody could have a bunch of kids. Now I see how maybe having 2 kids is better than one. I wouldn't have done it regardless, but my daughter being um uh, um just being a what's it called, a single child or whatever. Is that what it's called? Only child. So of course she still always is wanting more than one, but she definitely wants more than one because she doesn't want to have an only child because she knows what comes from that. But yeah, I don't see how people could have a ton of kids. She has so much food and stuff, and every year has to outshine. Well, how does is all of her stuff she's getting paid through YouTube, or she got other jobs? Wow, that's not right. Oh, most of the kids are. Oh boy, she's one of those. Oh no, that's really not good. I just wonder how the people do it that just have the big families and um. I see them. They're like prepping the food and all that stuff. I'm like, no, thank you. Well, it couldn't be me. I always said my daughter always had to have like dinner at a certain time or whatever. I could just imagine if I had multiple kids saying, "When are we eating? What's for dinner?" I would have really went crazy. No, thank you. So yeah, I wasn't a kid person that ended up having a kid, which is weird, but I'm glad I did. But after that, definitely wasn't a kid person. I'm definitely not somebody else's kid person. More power to those who are. Supposedly bought subscribers off of YouTube. You could buy subscribers. Hmm. Maybe that's why a lot of channels then are getting where they are. I didn't know you could do it off of YouTube. I knew that was a thing on Instagram. Why do I feel like I have something? Oh, I do have to do grocery shopping tomorrow. That's not going out and doing anything in my head. I feel like I'm like missing out on doing something like I was supposed to do. But I think I'm about to hop off here. I wonder if she keeps on having to. And that's just a person that's not adopting kids for to adopt them to be good. It's just um seems like because I think some adoptions you collect money too still. Remember that remember that couple that adopted a boy from Asia? No. Why did they rehome him? You gotta tell me more of the story to see if I remember. Was it usually couple? Was it because of his? You're talking about the autistic one or somebody? A different one. Yeah, I can't watch stuff like that where kids, kids are not cared for and stuff. That stuff I can't watch because of how my life was and stuff like that. Nope, can't do it. I can watch crime and stuff like that, but not when it comes to kids. I think he had autism. At least that's what, if it's the same one. Yeah, I remember that, and they got canceled. They should have got canceled. I didn't even know that was a thing until I heard that story. I didn't know you could rehome them. But I mean, people that have kids and like that, and if they're so severe, they put them in homes, which is sad or whatever. But they're still their kids, and they're still visiting them and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I said they deserve to be canceled. That just means you don't have the attachment to the actual child. Like it's not yours. So you think that you're just gonna end up with the perfect kid? Like what the heck? That's not how it goes naturally. So what makes you think just because you're adopted a kid it could go like that? That's fucked up. The foster care though, they full unadopted him. Oh, afterwards he got adopted again. Yeah, I was in the foster care thing for only when I was one time for only like a week, and that was horrid. Those people don't care about you. They only care about the money, and I know there's some of them that might be okay, but it's mostly for the money, and they like torturing people and stuff, so that's a nightmare. It's like I'm glad I got to go home to the nightmare at home than being some other people's nightmare, for sure. Rather dealt with everything at home. I remember the foster care lady. I was like 7, and she's gonna like run the bath water and only give me an inch of bath water, right? And say if she doesn't hear me splashing, she's gonna come in and smack me because I'm not splashing. The bitch gave me an inch of water and expect me to take a bath in it. I'm not joking when I say an inch. So I literally had to splash, hit the bottom of the tub basically for a splash, and she just wanted to hear it for continuously, like that could wash anything. I think she did it that way so she could smack me. Obviously, there was a lot for that week. There was a lot of crap. First, it was like the first house we were in. It was my all my brothers and sisters, the younger ones, and we tried to escape, but it's like we were caught because the people were downstairs while we were trying to escape out the door. So we weren't pros at like waiting for until people went to sleep or something. But even in there, their real kids were gross. Like they were young too, and they were like showing body parts and stuff. It was disgusting. That's how much water my fat ass has left when I get my body out the tub. Like really, for real. Like how did this dumb hoe expect me to go in? And that's just a total. When I think about that, I just think about her saying, "You better be splashing." And I was like 7 at the time, right? And I could have kicked her ass if I wanted to. That's the hardest part about it. I was a strong ass 7-year old, and I got this woman trying to intimidate me by telling me this one. I wanted to kick her ass so bad. But even back then, I thought, okay, I kicked this lady's ass. I'm going to be in bigger trouble than, anything. So to be abused in that kind of way just because you're in a system, man, that does something to you when you know that you could beat somebody's ass and you have to take it. You know, that's a whole new level of fucked upness. And that's how it's been a lot of times in my life where I knew I could kick somebody's ass. And I don't know how tall I was at 7, but I was pretty much, I think, almost as tall as the average woman. I was definitely strong enough. Was always fighting my brothers and stuff. So when you don't, it's like you don't fuck with people that are. I could have definitely. I knew in my head I could have took her. I could have kicked her ass. But well, like I said, I was out in the middle of nowhere. And her just. So yeah, it always does something to me when I think back of, dang, I could have kicked all these people's asses. But I chose the road of, just hopefully I could get out of it without violence, without me doing any violence. But some people, I'm sure there's 7 year olds that would try with that. Dang lady, stupid lady. Then she had like this big old garden, and I had to, it was like, go pick the tomatoes and all. Like nobody wants to do that. It was just not good. And then they'll take you over to other like foster homes in the neighborhood, and all the kids there are like, oh my god, how do we get out of here? Nobody's happy. Just horrid. Yeah, I did get out of it to go to my crappy ass life again. But like I said, I preferred that over. See, and then that's having food on the table and, stuff like that. But I'd rather go to starving land than have somebody have me try to splash in an inch thing of water. Yeah. No, it was only a week. And for being with her, I think it was like 4 or 5 days. I think the other place we were in for like 2 days. But that seemed way longer than that. Like she just monitored every damn thing. So yeah, life in its crappiness. But on that note, I'm gonna hop off here. Um, right now I could just say I'm doing what I could do. And we'll see where it takes me. I'm not gonna say I'm ending this, you guys. I got Jessie Lynn wrote me like, and she said, "Fuck this, you ain't leaving." She wrote me all these comments, and I just told her don't. She was gonna set her alarm. I'm like, don't set your alarm when you're sick. Don't do that. Like she needs her rest. So I'm not giving up yet. Okay. They're not only got you for the pay, they meant to take care of you. But child, yeah, and that's why I said it was child labor in a dang garden. It was hot as hell, and I'm like picking these big ass tomatoes and stuff. So it really made me mad. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in tonight, and supporting the channel. Thank you for the silent viewers. I only got 6 likes tonight, but I wasn't really saying nothing about the likes. So maybe that's why they didn't go up. Alright. I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. If not, it's going to be the next day or something. Definitely New Year's Eve I'm going to try to. You guys have a good night.